This video is for Section 35 of Hansen and Quinn's Greek an Intensive course and will teach you the sequence of moods. Hansen and Quinn's explanation is on pages 67 and 68 and in the appendix on page 757. I love Hansen and Quinn, but boy do they make sequence of moods look scary on page 67. They use every kind of typeface they can to get your attention and make sure you know this is super important. Well, it is, but it's really just a way to decide how to choose which mood to use in certain situations. That's all. Some dependent clauses in Greek will use the subjunctive or the optative, and you'll use the sequence of moods to decide which one. A dependent clause, also known as a subordinate clause, is one that can't stand on its own. It needs to be part of a bigger sentence with a main clause that introduces it. To decide whether your dependent clause needs the subjunctive or the optative, when you need to decide according to the sequence of moods, you look at the tense of the main clause. If the main verb is present or future or perfect, the sentence is said to be in primary sequence. If the main verb is imperfect, aorist, or pluperfect, all the tenses that are in past time and take the past indicative augment, we are said to be in secondary sequence. Now, if the main verb is present or future or perfect, then your dependent verb will go in the subjunctive mood. And if the main verb is imperfect or aorist or pluperfect, then your dependent verb will go in the optative mood. So in those situations, when you know that you choose between subjunctive and optative according to the sequence of moods, you look at the tense of the main verb to decide what sequence it is and choose the mood of the dependent verb accordingly. Primary leads to subjunctive and secondary leads to optative. That's really it. If the main verb is a tense that takes the augment and is therefore a tense of past time, then we're in secondary sequence. And you use the optative. If the main verb is in another tense, you're in primary sequence and you use the subjunctive. And there you have the sequence of moods. I and Hansen and Quinn will always tell you whether you need to make a choice of subjunctive or optative according to the sequence of moods. Plenty of types of dependent clauses don't use it, but the first kind you'll learn, purpose clauses, will use sequence of moods to decide between subjunctive and optative, and you can always refer back to this video to remember how it goes.